Mike, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
I'm tired, but I'm pretending like I'm full of energy. But I am excited to have you here. So there's that. Yeah.
I'm also tired, but it doesn't matter. You'd never tell, man. I'm like the Energizer Bunny.
Oh, dude. You're a bottomless
piss
pit.
and vinegar, bro.
Bottomless pit of many things.
Yeah. So Mike from DynastyCentral.gg, tell us what's going on. Why on earth did you convince yourself to do this? Because I've been messing with your app and it is insane.
Dude, we really got to start at the beginning. Like what is on the website? What are you offering the world?
Yeah, so if there's my elevator pitch, we are the one-stop shop for all your EA Dynasty mode needs, right? I know a lot of people online, they have these fancy spreadsheets, and you're going in cell by cell, typing in a player name, hometown, height, weight. After the first 10 rows, you're tired. You just want to play the game again, right? Yep. And so we were all there, and our whole goal is, hey, just take a picture of your screen, and we'll get all that data for you, and you go back to playing the game, you know?
Dude, that's so cool. It's such a huge labor saver.
Yeah.
Right? For somebody who wants to do it.
Yep.
And I would say to the potential client of DynastyCentral.gg, what is your time worth? You know, you want to do all this stuff, but exactly to your point, typing all that crap in. No, man, let Mike figure that out for you.
Yep.
So
and the thing is,
go ahead.
Let's be honest, there's a lot of sweats online, right? They've figured out the best way to come up with a coach build, the best position changes, the best playbooks, and we're like, a lot of us are working 9 to 5. We don't have time to keep up with Twitter threads and Reddit on what the new meta is, right? So wanted to simplify that for everyone as well. Is like, hey, this is your roster. Like, this is what you should try to optimize for. This is where you'll set up your team best chance to win. Now, we can't prevent you from throwing a pick into double coverage. Like, that's kind of on you. That's a skill issue, but we'll put you in the right spot.
You got to pay for the higher tier for that.
That's a platinum membership.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us a little bit more about where this started. Like, where's the first building blocks of this? Where did you pull the data from?
Yeah, I would say, well, we have to go back almost like a decade, back to NCAA 14. I feel like that was the kind of nostalgic game that a lot of us grew up on. I used to play even before that, like from NCAA 06. I loved just how immersive the game mode felt. I mean, I was a kid at the time, and it was just a cool concept, right? Like, I remember the Road to Glory. You had to take exams. Like, you had a dorm room. You'd go through like newspaper articles, and then once you got into like NCAA 12, they even had for Dynasty mode a online component where you can manage your Dynasty mode on EA's website, right? You could recruit, you could set up your roster, depth chart, everything on the website, and it's synced to your console. And then they got rid of everything, and then they came out with 25. It was like, all right, we have a new game, but then I quickly realized, like, wow, all the immersive stuff we grew up with is gone. You know?
And that functionality as well is gone. Yeah.
So we're like, okay, I got started with like a friend's Dynasty League, and it got competitive very quick. And so everyone, starting to really become sweats. We all had spreadsheets trying to figure out how to one-up each other's rosters. And so I had my own, and eventually became like, all right, let me just, I have a tech background. So I was like, let me use some of my chops to like automate some of this work so I can focus on the game. And it helped me a ton. I won the league a few times. And then I was like, maybe there's others that could use this. And initially, it started out with just me taking pictures of my TV screen and then trying to pull out all the data from the pictures, and then, automate my spreadsheets.
All right. I'm sure most people don't want to get into this, but I have to know. when you scrape the data off of these screens, the nice thing about the way the screen is set up on the PlayStation or whatever on your TV is that it's uniform. And, catch is always in the same column. So that's how you're able to scrape this information, right? So can you talk just to scratch my own itch a little bit about how you actually set that up?
Yeah, I'll have to send you guys an NDA to give away our proprietary.
Right. Nothing proprietary, but yeah.
No, it really comes down to what you said, right? Like the way each recruit page or roster page, the same columns, the same format.
Right.
You can train. So we've trained our own AI models that know how to read those screens, so that with almost like 99% accuracy, we are able to pull out, the right player name, attributes, and whatnot. And then we also allow functionality, like if we do mess up, like you can go and edit, hey, like this is the actual person's name, or there's
Dude, so not to brag, but I work at the post office, and the post office has a similar issue of they got to read like envelopes and stuff. And so the post office was the world leading innovator in optical character recognition to be able to read addresses and stuff really fast and in an automated way. So, Mike, you're welcome.
It's the unsung heroes.
Yeah, that's right.
We could do it for college football.
Yeah, so please keep your dogs in.
So I was pulling up your site and I was playing with it last night and then this morning and uploading my Middle Tennessee State roster to it. And the information that it provides you at just a touch of a button is mind-blowing to me, mainly because I'm dumb, right? So, and I'm lazy on top of it. I mean, I'll look at my stuff and like kind of glance, who's my best receiver, stuff like that. But what this does is it optimizes it. And so it tells you like, hey, your wide receivers are your best players. You should do more to find the ways to get them the ball.
Wow.
Yeah, right? And so tell us more about like how is it pulling and determining this? Is it just strictly overall, or where? How does it know? How do it know? Where your team's strengths and weaknesses are. It does, dude. It's this stuff is. I'm telling you, it's mind blowing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good question. So we'll take in things like obviously your roster construction and taking into things like the scheme you're trying to run, playbook you're trying to run. So, like, if you're running Air Force offense, you probably don't need to have a stacked wide receiver group, right? You probably want strong offensive linemen, like a pure runner and quarterback, and a stable of running backs, right? And so our system knows how to like optimize those insights based on what you've provided us as information, like what you're trying to do with your dynasty. So we try to adapt to the player and just become another tool to point the player in the right direction.
Okay, so I can go on for a while here. So hold on.
Because I want to hear more about the functionality.
So
what it really does.
Well, here's another thing it does. So you can start with either like the default roster. So like if you were just queuing up your dynasty for the first time, you just put in the default roster,
and it's already in there.
And exactly, and it analyzes your roster. But you could even do your like say like if you played 3 years on and you want to start there, it'll do that and it'll analyze your roster. But then here is where it starts to go like wholly next level, right? It'll tell you where you need to recruit.
Yep.
And it'll tell you like, hey, this guy's a senior, he's going to be gone, and your next guys are like freshmen, and so you need to do this. I'm telling you.
All right, dude.
Let me tell the audience here.
Yeah.
So Scafacci versus audience. This stuff is so mind-blowing, and mainly because I'm stupid, once again.
Sure.
Right? But like I never even considered this as a possibility, and you guys have. So it makes me question, A, how smart are you, right? Because you're way ahead of the damn min-max curve here. Yeah. And now this is like taking it to just that next level where it hyper-analyzes your roster, tells you how to recruit, who to recruit, by position, everything.
This is what those AI data centers are being used for.
Fortunately, yes.
All right, so go on.
Yeah, you hit a good point. Is that so? At a base level, right? Our core principle is like people are already using these spreadsheets, and we just want them to have a better UI. So that's where our free tier comes in, right? You can use all the base functionality. You can import through screenshots. We even have video. So if you don't want to take 100 screenshots, just record a long video of your roster, your schedule, and your recruits. We'll import that data for you. No one else has offered that today. Everyone does screenshots, but we do we have video. And then the last thing is like if you want to go to that next level, then we do have paid options, right? So like your idea on what you're touching on is like this next level analytics. we will do like the in-depth run of, hey, you're thin at running back because you have maybe 3 seniors. Think about recruiting these running backs. Let's say you add, all these running backs to your board, and they have all these different attributes like change of direction, speed, and then they're just high school players. So you can also do analysis to see like, okay, how does this person compare to my senior running back? And you can compare like, okay, within the archetype, can this guy grow into having, change of direction and speed at the level I need to have a good run game? And if it's not, you can drop that recruit, right?
Wow.
So you can find busts and maybe gems a lot quicker because you see that, okay, they're very high in certain attributes versus other recruits.
Dude, this is incredible. This is the future that we were promised.
Yes.
And these robots that are just making your roster better, they're probably not the kind that are going to rise up and like enslave all humans. They're just going to make our teams better.
No, they're going to start winning your league is what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going to just
don't ever give it access to a controller. Overall cooked.
Right. Yeah.
So another thing.
When you say that, there's
go ahead.
people that do the coach mode now.
Yes.
I don't know if
Yeah.
So they are giving the controller to the robots, then they're just calling plays.
So
all right, well, but we've seen, like, you've played Road to Glory, you know how bad the robot is at calling plays. So that's the question now, could your robot be better at that? Let me ask you, actually, because this is reminiscent of the things that they did with Revamped, where you have this existing game, people are working to make it better, and now some of those Revamped guys work for EA.
Right.
So have you been contacted in any way, whether it's an offer or a cease and desist from EA Sports?
No, I mean, for better or worse, we have had no communication with them.
Okay.
I think we see ourselves as complimentary and just providing a service to the community. I'm just grateful that EA has decided to work on this game,
Yeah, for sure. And the improvements to 27, I mean, because the game is becoming more complicated in 27, so have you played the demo? Or have you the beta?
That was most of my weekend. I had the beta. And
the beta.
Digging my fingers deep into like how all the new game mechanics work, and I'm really excited. I think it's a really great step forward.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to add some new fields to that spreadsheet.
Don't worry, we already got a head start.
Nice.
I want to promise your viewers, like when the new game, the early release, depending on whenever you get it, we will support all the new game mechanics in Dynasty mode, and obviously build on that to
that kicks ass. And as a reminder for our listeners, that's DynastyCentral.gg is where they go to get that, right?
Yep. And if you guys are really interested, we can set up a promo code. We can throw it at the end of the ad.
That's cool.
To give your viewers a first month discount. Just get started, learn about the tool, and go from there.
That's relevant to our interest.
Yeah. So another thing that I found awesome is how you guys can analyze, for example, like by archetype, which archetypes are going to gain the most overall attributes over time, because there is a best and a worst. Yep. And so, like, for example, like route runner, wide receiver, and say like deep threat.
Route artist.
Yeah, route artist, right? One of those is better in terms of progression than the other. And they have figured it out. And so, and it's on this big little chart you can look at where it's like I think, if I remember right, the best overall or most consistently good player archetype was like elusive bruiser, if I remember right. And how that type of running back is overall, it's going to be the best. And so, like me, I like to recruit because I have like these schemes and ideas and all I need so this guy can catch out of the backfield. But when it boils right down to it, if you just have a roster full of elusive bruisers, you're going to get improvements that are incremental through the whole position group that are eventually going to be better than other people who might be like, oh, I like contact seekers. Well, that's great, but if the contact seeker is going to essentially top out at like an 88 and my elusive bruiser is going to top out at a 94, generally speaking, the 94 is going to be better than your 88 more often than not. And so that type of information. You bring up a
good point. Yeah. Because I think sometimes like people get lost in the sauce on the overalls. There's sometimes players with, lower attributes that they get a lot of hate, but they have maybe a really high block shed, right? But they're a lower overall, but if they beat blocks consistently, you probably want them on the field. And so that's where we can also help highlight, hey, like this person is an outlier. Try to maybe move their position or do something different with them. Yeah.
Dude, so what about for those of us who like to use our own custom teams? We use team builders. Can those be imported as well?
So team builder today, yes, you can. It works the same. There's an option where you just select, hey, I'm trying to use team builder, and you can type in your team name.
Right.
And then
because the stats are all the same, the spreadsheets are all kind of the same. Dude, that's great.
Yeah, because every team is preloaded on there. So like if you're using Middle Tennessee State, then you just pick Middle Tennessee State. You could pick any playbook. What about custom playbooks? Can you upload a custom playbook? That's
a good question. We don't have that support today, but we're working on adding it. Once we have an idea of what the new playbooks will look like, we're thinking of, hey, like, let's help people construct a playbook or
because that's what I'm interested in.
What plays that they're running,
Because so for me, I like to build these playbooks like every other player that are like very consistent. And there's plays that, like, I think now they said the next playbooks you're going to add like 750 plays or something. Well, that's way too many, if you ask me. I'm like, give me 300 good plays, and then I don't need. I'm like, not Bear Bryant. What was it? Lombardi?
Oh
just run sweep right,
power sweep.
Yeah, exactly, right. And so, I'd rather have a tight, efficient playbook that I can essentially memorize. And the game right now, it'll tell you like, oh, you average like 6.2 yards per play with this play.
Right.
If you guys are doing that, and then you can just kind of like give me all plays that average 5 yards or more for a running play, and it just builds you a playbook, of inside runs, outside runs, or however you want to do it. I mean, how freaking great is that?
But that's not.
Eventually, we want to roll it up to, hey, can we show what the community is picking? So let's say I build a playbook, you build a playbook. Can we aggregate all that together and say what are the trending plays this week? What are the trending plays this month? And, have people put in like, oh, this is an explosive play or whatnot. And that we can, again, going back to the idea is like, we don't have time to keep up with the metas.
Right.
Let us make that easier for you.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you, there's better plays than 4 verticals. Yeah?
Right. Yeah.
No, there's
all
not.
These things that players on their own are trying to optimize. Like you said at the beginning of the interview, the sweats. You take some of that sweat away from them so that they can just focus on, running more practices or whatever else they're doing to build that team and totally min-max it.
Well, I mean, but for me, so here's the thing: is like I'm a busy guy. I'm sure you're a busy guy, Mike. Alan, you're a busy guy. I don't got 10 hours a week to play the game, let alone 4 hours a day or anything like that. I need all the crutches that you can throw my way,
right?
In order to bridge this gap that I used to have that time to figure out on my own. Well, now I don't. Now I would just use DynastyCentral.gg and have it do the work for me. And now I know, hey, get that elusive bruiser or, that dual threat quarterback or whatever.
Right. Or, I need to focus on getting some guards in here for the next season or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Can your AI give me advice on how to talk my wife into letting me play more often?
So I haven't figured that one out either.
Dude,
even the robots can't figure that out.
That's like the super platinum tier. It just feeds you information through a little ear device, and then you can speak to your wife.
You know what you got to do is add what like all the other AIs do, like Claude and Gemini, where whenever you put in your roster, it's like, oh, your roster is amazing.
Oh yeah,
I love what you're doing with this team.
Yeah, you have absolutely nailed it. Yeah. and so let me talk a little bit real quick about I found you guys on Reddit, or you guys found us. I'm not even sure it's kind of chicken and the egg, but I started seeing your guys' posts. And I think I may have commented on one of them or whatever. And we kind of just started talking back and forth. And like I said, I started playing around with the app. You sent me like a link to it. And I mean, I was immediately, the first thing I did, I immediately sent it to him. Right. I was like, dude, you have to check this out because this is like next level. And then I sent it to a few other guys. Hey, like you need to check this out.
Right.
And the feedback I got right away was like, oh my God. This is like, where did you even find this? And I told him, I was cruising around on Reddit, getting some hate. And then I found, these guys and they kind of found us. And so, you guys have been putting this out on Reddit and I noticed that you guys do get a lot of positive feedback on it. Overall, how has the feedback been for you guys?
Yeah. I mean, the Reddit community has been great for us. we've got exactly the same feedback when we first launched. It's like, hey, like, we really love this. Like, I have people DMing me new feature ideas, like things they want to see added all the time. And so the people who love us, and the people who hate us strongly. And that's this general idea around the whole idea of AI. People are very anti-AI.
Oh yeah, they are.
They just watch Terminator too much. That's all.
we're building a tool here to play a video game. You know, like let's not take ourselves.
Yeah, it's
seriously.
exactly. It's not that serious, man. So, but the thing is the most mind-blowing thing is it's content they want. It truly is. This is something they want. It's just they're mad for some reason. I can't figure it out.
It's that toxicity. It goes back to your opening rant about how people are just toxic online.
Yeah,
and they find anything to be toxic about.
Yeah, so I'm sure you guys are dealing with it like you just said. And, but for us, like in our personal community that we've built, it's fantastic. We get super awesome feedback on it. They're like, oh, this is amazing. So
likewise. So we've also worked with a few YouTubers, more on a smaller scale, but they're like rapidly growing. Call Me Jaden and Brad Paracrowd Gaming. Shout out to them. They've held us down. Like they've pushed our Dynasty Central ad videos, and they actively use it. Like even when they go live, they use like our podcast features and that next level immersion. So we've tried to differentiate ourselves and offer something for everyone.
Talk a little bit more about that immersion, about the extra things. Yeah.
So the idea for this came to I was sitting on the couch watching First Take, and you just hear Stephen A. Smith, going off about some random stuff, just blabbering, right? Like it's being controversial.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool. Because then I'm a big Michigan fan, and so if you ever listen to Michigan talk show radio hosts, they're always, regardless of what time of the year, it's full criticism. Bryce Underwood's not good, something this, something that.
Right.
The whole coach controversy. So there's always stuff to talk about. I was like, oh, that'd be really cool if we had something similar within, Dynasty Central. So we built this idea of a narrative engine. So you can go in and create these storylines if you want to add some spice into your Dynasty world. So you can say, oh, my coach had an affair with his assistant or something to that effect. Yeah. And then so we have podcasts that will pick up on that and reference it. Say Michigan won this week, but their coach is embroiled in this storyline, and the podcast host will talk about it. And then you have newspapers will write articles about it. And so it's this whole world you can create to breathe some soul into this game. Right. You're just...
And this, again, is that great use of AI as a labor-saving device where, when this is how kind of the Scafaciverse came to be, is during 14, when we're just trying to keep it interesting for 10 years, we started creating all these storylines ourselves and putting all this effort into it. And this AI tool is this huge labor-saving device. Not only that, but there are a lot of people who simply don't have the analytic skill to analyze their roster and figure out what they need. And so this tool helps them with that. Just like people don't have the creative skill to come up with storylines around their school. Yeah. So your AI can help them with that as well. It's a very enriching your college football experience.
Yeah, it's amazing. Exactly. So do you have it? You said you're a Michigan fan, or is that your test subject for DynastyGG? Where do they need to recruit most? Are you sending their new? It's not Shamar Moore anymore. Who's their coach now? I forget.
We got Kyle.
Oh, that's right, Kyle Whittingham. Yeah. That's right, from Utah, right? Yeah, he came from Utah. Yeah. So are you sending him DMing him look, dude, I looked at the roster. We're really weak at corner. You're gonna have to fix this. Here's how you can do it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding going up against Ohio State and now weird to say Indiana, but you got to respect them. And he's got a tough battle. Got to develop a quarterback. That receiving room is still a big question mark. They got some young talent there, but I think he's going to run it more like Harbaugh, defense first, run the ball. So fingers crossed there.
Right on.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to share with us before we get out of here? Because I feel like we you hit a home run here today.
Dude, so it's such a great tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. And I'll always love to come back on. Or, talk to any of your viewers. We're open for feedback. Have them DM me on Reddit or email. And we're happy to offer you guys a promo.
What's your handle on Reddit so that people can find you?
Yeah, it's Wolverine Watt, and if you want to give us a follow on Twitter, it's Dyn Central, DYN Central.
Okay.
That's our handle.
Are you in anywhere on Facebook or anything like that where I can share it to our communities there?
We're not on Facebook yet, but we can get there. Yes.
Well, you can share the link.
I'm going to share the link regardless. Yeah,
right, absolutely.
It's just if you had like a Facebook, like a like page or something like that, a profile page, I could just send people.
Dude, just send them right to the website.
Yeah,
that's where they want to be in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's where the magic happens.
All right. So, Mike, I want to thank you for coming on. We're definitely going to have you back, especially after 27 drops, because we're going to need to know why my Dynasty sucks. And you're going to be able to tell me.
Dude, he can come on to talk about the meta.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we'll definitely have reason to bring you back on. There's no brainer there. So if
you're busy, just have your AI come on and talk to us.
My AI avatar.
Oh, man, that's so good. All right, Mike. So we're going to let you out of here. I know you got things you got to do today. We want to thank you for coming on to the show. We appreciate your time and the information, and we look forward to visiting DynastyCentral.gg, and we want big things for you, man. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.